The city isn't what it used to be. It all happened so fast. Everything went to crap. It's like everyone's sense of morals just disappeared. The bad economy made things worse. The jobs started drying up. Then the stores had to shut down. Then a black man was elected president. He was supposed to change things. He didn't. As more and more people turn to crime and violence, the town becomes gripped in fear. Dark times. The city needs protection. There is an animal that lives by night, searches through trash cans and cleans out the garbage. To clean the trash can of society, I've chosen to become more than a man. I am the hero this town needs. I am the coon.
Hello, fam. Welcome to the Coon Chronicles, where we look at and examine the tendencies and characteristics of the coon. Today, I want to shine a light on what I and many other black people will call the king of the coons. And that would be no other than Jesse Lee Peterson.
Good. I came across your show one day just clicking.
Welcome home.
No, I'm not at all in your corner.
Why
at
not?
all.
Why not?
First of all, I think you downgrade black people every time you open your mouth.
What do I say about most blacks that's not true?
Everything.
Like what, for example?
We don't know, black people don't know about God.
You do know about God, but you don't believe in God.
You're taking a small subsection of a race and you're putting everybody in the same bag.
Is 90% a small subsection?
You don't know 90% of black people.
96%, I'm sorry, 96%.
You don't know 96% of black people.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Let me tell you how. 96% of black people vote for the Democratic Party. They voted for Barack Obama twice. Is that a small subsection? And can you believe in God? Can you believe in God and vote for a godless man like Barack Obama? All the way from Haiti, Imani. Welcome to the show.
Yes, how you doing, Jesse?
All is well, Imani. How you?
Oh, yeah, I'm doing okay. I was calling because I want to say at least about 4 months ago you had made a comment about Haiti. You called our country a whole country, and I want to know why did you say that about our country?
Well, several reasons. One, once the Great White Hope, he reminded us that all these people are coming in from S-hole countries, and then they're coming into our country bringing their S-hole lack of character, and Haiti is one of those countries. I want you to come in and see there? Now I ain't got the disease. What's wrong with you?
You are so very disrespectful, man.
What do you mean?
You are.
So I wanted to talk to Charles. He's here in the studio about masculinity, feminism, homophobia, and white supremacy. Thank you for coming in, man.
Thanks for having me, Jesse. I appreciate it.
And the beauty about it that you're black and you made it on time.
I did.
Most blacks are late. Are you saying that wasn't radical Islamic terrorism?
I'm saying radical Islamic terrorism as a terminology is a falsehood.
How's that?
Because it's constructed, right? And so we're
By
deciding
whom?
by the liberal media.
No, these people are actually doing this. They're saying this.
No. What I'm saying is
they're Muslims.
We are right, but Christians are also enacting terrorism.
We're not talking about Christians. Christians
but we are
not doing it.
But we are. If we're going to talk about
Christians
religion.
are not. We're
Jesse,
not talking about religion.
Jesse, we are talking about religion. Islam is a religion
by Muslims.
No, that is an individual Muslim who is not representative of all Muslims. Just like an individual Christian, right? The person that killed all of those people in Las Vegas is no more indicative of all white men who have engaged in terrorism since the beginning of time. So we need to have an honest conversation about that.
Well, Islam is not a religion, just FYI.
Islam means peace. Allahu Akbar means God is great.
You've been listening to George Bush, right? Islam means peace.
No, I've been studying. I'm a professor. I'm educated in this. I've spent a decade understanding this. The USC Race and Equity Center serves as a nexus of practice, policy, and research dedicated to eradicating the social ill of racism. Intended to do is to help colleges and universities make sense of the racial climate within which students are expected to live, work, and learn. And so that not only enables us to understand what their experiences are, but the way that racism as a structural and systemic form of power influences those experiences. So that's one aspect of it. Another piece of that is providing professional education and executive training for senior leaders in higher education who are looking to improve that climate to ensure that students have equal and equitable outcomes for their learning experiences in college.
That's amazing. You said a whole truckload of words.
I did.
That had no meaning.
Not to you.
So,
Hey, Jesse. My
how you?
Is, why do you feel the need to kowtow to white supremacists?
And what do you mean?
You said, and I quote, you said exactly about slavery. Thank God and white people for slavery. That is something white supremacists would say. Why do you feel the need to kowtow to them?
And why is it that I'm kowtowing down to them by saying what I think about it?
You think slavery was a good thing?
Yes. We were allowed to be born here rather than sneaking across the borders or having to fill out an application and wait for years or take a test, which we would have never passed, by the way. But take a test, and so rather than and all cultures have been enslaved in one form or fashion or another, right? And so rather than whimpering and whining and begging, especially blacks today who don't even know anything about slavery, they have freedom to do what they want. Instead of complaining, I would show my appreciation to the folks who died and sacrificed their lives that I might be born in the greatest country in the world. So even though slavery looked like it was a bad thing, it turned out to be good for us because we could be stuck in Africa somewhere. And evil been promoted and encouraged over 70 years or so. It had nothing to do with color. They have separate the black children from their fathers, and they have promoted the black mother and made her feel that she's a queen. Black women literally believe they're queens. Now you know you got to be on an ego trip. I interviewed a black woman, nice lady, in case she's watching, nice lady, who said she was a queen. That black women are queens. I'm like, queen of hell. Satan's queens. This is not going to change until you return the children back to the fathers and the fathers to the children. This anger, which is evil, is coming from the mothers. Because it's the God above is the man's God, and the God below is the woman's God. So her nature is evil because she has the nature of Satan, and that nature hates the nature of God. That nature hate men because men represent God. And the women don't realize that that's what's going on with them. Well, black women hate black men. They have no love. They have no love for their brothers, their sons, their fathers, their male friends. Black women hate male men more than anybody I've ever seen.
No, I've often said that thank God for slavery because, had not, then the blacks who are here would have been stuck in Africa. And you see how bad Africa is. Everybody and mama trying to get out of Africa and come to America. Mm-hmm. And so God has a way of looking out for folks, and he made it possible by way of slavery to get black folks into this country. Proud of it. I thank God that he saw fit for me to get here. Never mind that, we were sold. I mean, I guess my ancestors way back, way young to when, were sold by Arabs and blacks to white folks and got us here. The white man came and brought us to the greatest country in the world. The ride over was pretty tough, but it's like riding on a crowded airplane, and when you're not in first class, it's a tough ride. But you're happy when you get to your destination.
I have a major announcement right now. As of today, the 1st of July, which today is the 2nd, I think, 2nd. But the 1st of July is White History Month. White History Month. So the whole month is White History Month from now on. Happy White History Month. As of July 1, 2018, we will be celebrating the entire month of July White History Month. And the reason that I picked July, put it there, James. The reason I picked July is because white Christian males and female conservative straight men and women of God are very patriotic, and July just fit with white people. 4th of July, vacations, a quiet moment to appreciate the freedom that this great country offers. And so I figured since white people founded this country and created the Constitution, then why, if we can have Black History Month, they haven't done a thing. The Gay History Month, who have not done anything. The Mexican months and the Indian months and the Japanese month and Chinese month. Why not White History Month? This is their country. So for the entire month, we're going to be celebrating White History Month of July. So happy White History Month, white folks.
Does racism exist?
Absolutely not. And it has never existed.
Whoa!
It has never.
Whoa, whoa!
It's a made-up word.
What about the picture in the 60s with the German shepherds on the black guy, the civil rights movement, and the cops, and the guy like that?
Well, that's because you were having protests. Whenever you could have a protest today, and if people go out of control, you're gonna see the same thing. It was just a protest. And you're hearing this from a man. I grew up in Alabama. I grew up under the Jim Crow laws. I went to an all-black school. There were signs that says for colors only, for whites only.
That sounds pretty racist.
Yeah. But it wasn't racist. It was a law that was brought about by the Democrats. And they brought that law into effect, and it separated people by law. But yet, most blacks and whites got along. They knew that all white people were not against black people. It was a law, and people just obeyed the law at the time. And when I was growing up, I had to pick cotton. The guys were taking out.
You were born on a plantation.
Have you ever picked cotton?
No, sir.
You have not lived until you pick cotton.
You're being too controversial for me. You're gonna get my show taken off the air. It's fun to pick cotton.
It's fun. It makes a man out of you.
Really?
You know, I said once on my radio show that because most blacks are so lazy now, because of the government taking care of them, and then a lot of them are born with single mothers only in the homes, and the mothers don't make them work. And I said, I'm gonna go to Alabama, buy some land, create a plantation, and I'm gonna take the blacks back down there to show them how to work and be independent and earn their way. And I've noticed that people who are into identity politics have been into it for the last however many years. The blacks, the Hispanics, the women, the gays, the whatever, they're all mean, dirty, nasty people. I don't like them. They're very selfish. First of all, Megan Kelly did not demand and insist that Santa be white. Santa is white. He started out white. And he's still white. Never mind the black ones that you put in there. Santa is still white. And other blacks like her racist parents. Black racist parents. Can you imagine living with both parents, being a pastor, first of all? And then secondly, those pastors are taken out of their own hatred for white Americans, in my opinion, taking down this white Santa and putting up a black Santa. That is racist within itself. And I don't know how pastors can say that they are of love, of God, and then create this type of hatred in their own children. So it's not the white Santa that is causing blacks to feel inferior or insecure or lose their sense of quote-unquote identity. It's the racist parents who are doing this. Mommy South Africa is coming to this country, and it's already here. It's just growing because there's no one to stop it. I believe that President Trump will stop it.
once he's reelected. And in South Africa, they destroyed, the blacks over there took over, and they destroyed the police departments. They ruling with destruction in South Africa. White people are afraid. Same thing here. They are now taking the land of white people in South Africa without compensation. That is starting to happen here. Excuse me, they're calling it reparation. They're calling it reparation over here. They're taking your land, folks. They're coming after your land. I've said over and over again that black Americans, not all, but most, are immoral, and they support evil. They call good evil. And the only purpose of most black Americans on earth today is to destroy. Not to build, but to destroy. And black people are so bad that they are now destroying, even trying to destroy football. Now, if you could destroy football, the NFL is over. And I haven't had anyone to prove me wrong. They have not been able to say, Jesse, you are wrong. Within the last 70 years or so, here are some good things and good people that majority of blacks have voted for or supported or done. No one has been able to prove me wrong. And as a result of that, we have black, evil, nasty politicians, black, evil, nasty black preachers, and the black people are a mess.
Now, Peterson is a conservative talk show host and self-proclaimed pastor, but today we're going to explore his history of spreading hate and slander, particularly towards black people, and his hypocritical stance on LGBTQ issues. Well, what do you mean by that, you might ask? The man is literally biting the pillow himself. Oh, and side note, whatever someone else does privately in their own company or their home is none of my business, and frankly, I don't care. But I hate those who publicly demonize as a group while fully engaging in those very same activities themselves in private, like Jesse Lee Peterson does. All in the name of being cruel to people while hiding behind his phony Eurocentric religion.
It's like with the homeless people on the streets and things. Speaking of the homeless people, one nice thing about all this rain we've been getting in LA, it kind of washing homeless people away. The rain washing the homeless people out and clean it up a little bit. That's kind of nice. Thank God for the rain. I am an Oreo cookie. White on the inside, black on the outside. Isn't that amazing? At one time in life, I was black on the inside and black on the outside. But God took the anger, that dark spirit of anger away, and now I'm white on the inside. I'm also I am not an African American. No African here. I don't have an afro, a marafro. There are no African drums beating in my chest. The American guitar is playing in my heart. Born on a plantation in Alabama. Grew up under the Jim Crow laws. Worked the fields, worked the plantation. Black as the ace of spades, but 100% American. I am not into the black thing.
You didn't know? Well, I'm glad to be here to get you up to speed. Jesse Lee Peterson has built an entire career on spewing hatred and slander towards black people, all for the entertainment and acceptance of white audiences. He's basically a minstrel show and a court's jester for bigoted white people. I think he rose in popularity with the white Christian political party sometime in the 1990s. He's made quite a living off of perpetuating negative stereotypes and racist tropes, often using his platform to demonize and dehumanize entire communities, with an elevated emphasis on attacking us, black people, and our image. It's a lucrative business, and business is good, and Jesse Lee Peterson has profited handsomely from this divisive rhetoric. His targeted market is, I would classify as single, angry, lovelorn, sex-deprived, white Christian males between the ages of 17 and 70, so it's a pretty decent-sized demographic. His childish trolling tactics is something to behold. For example, when he disagrees with men, he would often call them betas or beta males or say something disrespectful like chopping up the word lesbian in order to mock these particular women.
And we all know that Black Lives Matter is an evil, radical, agitative organization that was founded by a bunch of Black lesbians.
You can find him saying things like "ass black and slow" to the gleeful delight of his supporters due to the dog whistle regarding blacks as being mentally slow. You don't believe me? Well, I disagree. Because if it was just about being slow, which any race could be slow, then all one needed to say is something like they didn't understand the statement or question and request clarification. But it's not about an attempt to clarify anything except his very passive and effeminate nature for the white power structure. This man is the very definition of beta male.
The logical
there is nothing more effeminate than a white man defending the white power structure against black people. There is nothing more effeminate than a black man defending the white power structure against black people.
Hey, why are you speaking? Hold on.
You are politically effeminate, Jesse Lee
logical
Peterson.
in their mind.
You are politically
and
effeminate.
Women are illogical
you are
in their
politically
mindset, right?
effeminate.
Why are you
You are
screaming at me?
defending the white power structure
Zane, hold
against
on.
your own people
Hey.
while you claim to be a man of God.
Zane,
You
hold
are
on.
a disgrace to your race, sir. You
Zane,
are
calm
a
down.
disgrace to your race.
But what's even more disturbing is Peterson's tactics as a troll. He often tries to force yes or no answers from his guests and callers, even when he knows the topic requires more context and nuance. Repeatedly asking black guests if they love white people, for example, while rarely asking white guests if they love black people. But here's the news flash. If you are a bigoted white, we don't care if you love us or not. Some of us don't care if you're not bigoted. We still don't love you. So stop making yourselves more important than you really are through your pets. Anyway, this approach is designed to provoke and manipulate rather than to genuinely engage in meaningful discussion. It's a classic troll tactic, and it's used by demagogues and the sort. And it's a shame that an old coon like Jesse Lee Peterson uses his platform to exploit and belittle others. For example, I've seen him laugh at or mock the suffering of poor and the deaths of unarmed black people, all in an attempt to invoke an emotional reaction for the thunderous applause of his white racist fan base. Also, if you make a cogent argument, he'll say something like, "You said a whole lot, but you didn't say nothing." You know what that is? This is also a trolling tactic, often used by simple-minded individuals who are unable to think below the surface, and they tend to hate anything academic or someone with a vocabulary exceeding 2 syllables. And this is why Donald Trump is so popular with these people. Oh yes, and let's not forget about his hypocrisy on the LGBTQ folks. Jesse Lee Peterson's hypocrisy is also on full display when it comes to LGBTQ issues, as he has been very vocal about his hatred for that particular community, often using inflammatory language to condemn and degrade individuals based on their sexual orientation or gender identity. However, his hypocrisy was exposed when it was revealed that he had viewed a gay porn video on his social media account. He liked it. Mikey, he liked it. He loved it. But in a desperate attempt to cover up his tracks, he temporarily disabled his account. But the damage was already done. We seen you, coon.
But we're about to get to the documentary, folks. It's amazing. But before, one more. This is going to be a shocker to you guys. Prepare your shock face. But he accidentally liked gay porn on his Twitter. And then he froze his whole account because he was so shook by it. Let's have a look here. So here he is. There's the Jesse Lee Peterson page. Let's scroll down. This is his likes. So you see it's his likes. Let's scroll down. What's he liking? He like Trump. A lot of Trump. He's liking mostly Trump. It's almost entirely Trump. He really loves Trump, it seems. Oh, what's going on here, Jesse Lee? Oh, no. Oh, shit. I mean, he does like sucking conservative dick, so, you know, can understand why he loves Trump so much. But yeah, he liked that. No shocker whatsoever. All the signs were out there already, folks. Apparently he likes the masculine gays. It's not really gay if you're like into the masculine gays. It's not gay if you're like fucking them. That's just the prison rules, basically. And so then he locked his whole account because he was embarrassed. He eventually unlocked it, but this is going to come into play later because in the documentary, somebody actually asked him about this.
Exploiting many angry American men's desires for a stable family life, Jesse would directly call out feminists for their role in destroying the family as well. At the time, Jesse was an ardent opponent of homosexuality in and outside the church, and presented himself as such.
The spirit of homosexuality is of their father, the devil. It's not them, the person. It's the spirit that made a home in them. And it came from them overreacting to some sort of a situation in life, whether it's from someone messing with them when they were kids, or overreacting to an angry mother, because you become like what you hate.
But shortly after the March interview, friends of his came to us with a different story. These stories first came to light when Jesse's former co-host and alleged decade-long gay lover exposed him. 61-year-old Patrick Rooney has known Jesse for nearly 30 years, dating back to roughly 1992.
Everybody know Patrick Rooney, one of the smartest white men on this side of heaven.
The two were so close that Jesse was the minister at his wedding and the pastor at his baptism, long before Rooney claimed any homosexual activities began.
Right around that time, I also had started a TV show. I was doing a public access TV show in LA, and with a friend of mine who had gotten off heroin and wanted to, he asked me to be involved in the show to help other people get off drugs and things like that. So we started a show, and one of our first guests was Jesse and another gentleman from Bond. So we did a couple shows with them. And from that time forward, right after the show happened, Jesse and I talked in the green room, backstage. And right off the bat, he started asking me stuff. Jesse's very forward with his questioning and things like that. So he actually asked me right after that show, are you gay?
Rooney's characterization shows that Jesse allegedly used similar grooming tactics as other homo predators.
Later, I realized that's kind of something that people do sometimes. It's like the devil works in a certain way by intimidating you, and it throws you off your normal game. And so he said, what do you want to do? And he was like, okay, I'm scared. And then I told him what I want to do. I mentioned sex acts, that he knew about, that I had already talked to him about, that I was interested in. And the next thing you know, he's ripping his clothes off and coming at me, basically. And I did the same, took my clothes off. And the next thing you know, we're fully at it, having, not getting into detail here, but basically full-on sexual acts. He did throw me under the bus, basically, and other people that did anything like that, and still does. If anybody comes up with it, they'll keep anybody off the air.
You're talking about other victims?
Well, other victims. And he'll make sure that if anybody talks about these things, calls up his show or does anything like that, they were not going to get through on the show.
Patrick explained how easy it was for Jesse to discredit victims, given Bond's history of seeking out troubled young men.
A lot of the people that Jesse brings around him are troubled young men, right? Have drug problems, right? Some of them been in jail. So it's pretty easy to discredit a guy who's been on drugs, maybe in jail or something like that. It's pretty rotten thing to do.
Beginning last November, Rooney began writing a collection of blog posts hinting at Jesse's predation, leading him to a shocking discovery.
After I published these articles, I found out from a young man, a very credible young man, that Jesse was fooling around with this young man.
That young man was 30-year-old Samuel Arambula, a more recent member of Bond and Jesse's latest known purported victim. Among him are 3 other alleged witnesses and victims who also chose to tell their stories. Samuel began his relationship with Jesse professionally, washing cars for him and doing other cleaning work at what they call the Bond House. The Bond House is where Jesse and several of his male staff currently live. And when Samuel began opening up to Jesse about his past, things got personal.
I was molested as a boy, so I was like, Jesse, what do? Like, this is weighing heavy on me. What should I do? He said, forgive him. It's in the past. Our relationship progressed slowly closer and closer. I didn't suspect anything weird of it. There were certain times where he began hugging me where I was like, whoa, I've never been hugged by a man. Like, what was this? But I was like, this is, I get, he would just tell me like, you know, I just love you. So I'm like, okay, I get you, you know, I love you too.
But, much like with Patrick Rooney, Samuel states things went from casually close to mortally sinful.
So Friday afternoon, evening, I go to Jesse's house and I am sitting in his couch, relaxing, you know, I'm kind of avoiding the LA traffic at the peak hour. So it's a good deal, and I get to stay somewhere with someone that I respect, a friend. So then by this point, we're already real comfortable with like hugging and all that stuff, you know, just hugging for long periods of time.
Man, you guys ever sit around and just hug on your guy friends? I don't know, I don't want to be toxic masculine, but I've never hugged a man in my life except for like my dad. Is that normal?
I thought nothing weird of it. I guess my guard had already been let down completely. So I'm sitting on this couch, he kneels down in front of me, and then he wraps himself around, his arms around my waist. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of weird, but...
A little weird.
I'm like, Jesse, why are you doing that? He's like, I just love you so much.
I just love your dick.
And I'm like, okay, I guess. I was just like this. So then he starts rubbing my thighs, and I'm like, okay, what is he doing? Like,
what are you
doing?
Crazy. It's a mystery.
And then he starts rubbing my genital area.
What are you doing?
What's happening right now?
What's happening?
And then
he trying to suck your dick, motherfucker?
And then he pulls down my pants.
What are you doing?
Like, I'm shocked. I'm not saying anything. I'm like, my face is like, whoa, what the hell is happening right now?
From there, Jesse instructed Samuel to go into his so-called meditation called the silent prayer.
And he's like, doubt all thoughts are lies. Everything Satan is telling you is a lie. And I'm like, okay. But inside it's telling me, hey, this is not good. What are you doing? What are you allowing him to do?
Samuel describes Jesse abusing the supposed meditative state, trying to convince Samuel to ignore the traumatic sexual experience occurring.
It went on for a few minutes. He would get up, walk away. I could hear him, I couldn't see him. Get up, he would get up, walk away. I could hear him get up, walk away, touch it, get up, walk away, touch it. And I was like, what the hell's going on?
Former Bond House manager, 50-year-old Robert Santner, alleges he witnessed similarly strange behavior in 2021 between Jesse and current Bond producer James Hake.
What I witnessed, him and Jesse were hugging each other intensely, rubbing each other's shoulder down stuff, and he came to a point where I actually saw him kissing him on the cheek and stuff, on the hallway, and talking all kinds. I can't remember what the words he said, but there were a lot of giggling in the hallway, in his James took and then there was even one time that just really shocked the living hell out of me, is I went to the laundry room stuff. I mean, after I took the laundry out, and then when I got out, and there was a door open in Jesse's room, and there I saw Jesse was sitting in the bed, and while James Hake was wrapped around bed sheets, completely around like a burrito with his head sticking out. And Jesse was like embracing him and hugging him and stuff, and then kissing him on the forehead. And I was like, hey, are you all right?
Hake, to this day, is an ardent defender of Jesse and his ministry,
sure is.
essentially helping him ostracize all the men accusing Jesse of homopredation. Santner also described an incident where Jesse attempted grooming him to see if he was a homosexual.
I think the exposure of Jesse Lee Peterson's hypocrisy raises a lot of questions about his character and integrity, which, by the way, he has none. For me, how can someone who claims to be a pastor or a moral authority be so hateful, so reckless, and so deceitful? The fact that he's built an entire career on spreading hate and intolerance while secretly indulging in behaviors he publicly condemns is truly disturbing. I think that most of us black people hold Jesse Lee Peterson accountable for his actions. Most of us find him completely reprehensible. But we still need to keep our foot on his neck and continuously call out his hypocrisy and challenge his hateful rhetoric. By exposing his true nature, we can work towards creating a more inclusive and compassionate society where everyone is treated with dignity and respect. No longer will allow him to get away with his pro-white pandering, butt-kissing troll tactics and hypocrisy.
But there is levels to the coon kingdom. There's levels to the coon kingdom. So even though they are all sellouts, you have your grade A coons like Jesse Lee Peterson and Charles Barkley. And then you have your grade B coons, which will be like a Kendrick Perkins and a Shaq. And then you have your grade C coons, which would be like a Steve Harvey. So there's levels to the coon kingdom. Say again.
But you do put him in the coon kingdom.
I would put Steve Harvey in the coon kingdom, but he wouldn't be grade A like Jesse Lee Peterson.
Beta.
Oh, because I tell you why.
Beta.